Welcome to Heirs and Spares, the show that dives into the fascinating world of two of the most recognized royal couples from both sides of the Atlantic. I'm Kinsey Schofield, and royal commentator and author Duncan Larkham is here to help us unpack the latest with the former Fab Four. Duncan.
The tables have turned and the world is watching. While Prince William and Princess Catherine continue to win the hearts of millions, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are facing one humiliating blow after another. What's causing this major shift? And why are the Sussexes struggling while the future king and queen dominate the royal stage?
Before we started recording, I saw the most gorgeous pictures of the Princess of Wales celebrating St. Patrick's Day. It's nice to see her. First of all, I tried not to comment at all on her physically when we knew she was sick because I thought that was in poor taste. But she is looking good these days.
She's back to full swing, isn't she? And it's funny, she was for St. Patrick's Day, she goes and visits the Irish Guards. And I can remember many moons ago when she did that. This was the perfect Kate. She's never put a foot wrong, but she put her high heel shoe into a drain and got it stuck. And that's when we say that's the only time she's ever put a foot wrong. Was
literally.
On that. So it's an anniversary for her.
That's so sweet. Well, it was nice to see her beaming from ear to ear. I mean, there was so much speculation around how much we would see of the Princess of Wales this year. I can't remember that word that they kept using. It was something like gradual, but I don't think it was gradual. But there was some word that they kept using to try to manage our expectations when it came to how much we would see Catherine. I've been pleasantly surprised at the amount that I've seen her so far this year. And based on the way that they were trying to manage our expectations, I don't know if I just ignorantly assumed that she wanted to spend more time at home and wanted more time to process the last year of her life. But she looks so genuinely happy to be out and about and to be engaging with people. And this doesn't feel like a job for her. I think that this is what she was born to do.
Stay tuned, because I'm breaking it all down right now. Recent polls show that William and Catherine's approval ratings are sky high, cementing their place as the beloved faces of the monarchy. Their recent public engagements, from charity work to international tours, have been met with overwhelming praise.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to remember, of course, is after going through that last year's ordeal, the public love her even more. I mean, she was popular before the cancer scare, but I think, you know, what happened to her last year just melted people's hearts, and she went up and up in the opinion polls, and she's riding a crest of a wave. That's like you say.
I'm going to be so naughty right now and say what an incredible rise she's had in popularity. Yes, but it definitely felt like certain members of the royal family were trying to sabotage her in the lead up to, unfortunately, her cancer news, and today, where she is truly the people's princess. When we saw Omid Scobie release Endgame, and the translation that released certain names and accusations that, how did they, I mean, were those swept under the rug so quickly because just nobody was buying them? I really feel like he lost a bit of credibility under those circumstances.
I think what we've seen in naked detail has been this transatlantic popularity contest that was sparked by Harry and Meghan. They were responsible for it, rightly or wrongly.
Wrongly.
They've come out of it very badly, and I think also, Kinsey, it's the way that Kate and her advisors made a very clear decision just to say nothing, not to rise to the bait, not to go tit for tat, and I think that's given her an air of dignity, perhaps, which she didn't have before. And it's from a PR strategy point of view, it's just worked wonders for her. And we're seeing that now, as you rightfully say. She's riding that crest of a wave. She's out and about. She's enjoying what she's doing. She's clearly glad to be back, and the public just are lapping it up.
Catherine's stunning appearances and dedication to royal duties continue to impress the public, making her one of the most admired royals. Meanwhile, their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, are growing up in the spotlight, further solidifying their family's future role in the monarchy.
Yeah, I agree that Harry and Meghan started this really unnecessary tug of war, because I never in my life do I pit Catherine and Meghan against each other on purpose. It's just, it's not where I immediately go mentally.
Yeah.
And never in my life was I curious about personal text messages between the two women. For Harry to include that in Spare, that was a vicious dig. That was again like my idea when I say I felt like the Sussexes were trying to sabotage Prince William and Catherine. That's the kind of example I would give you if you asked me to go further. Like I would say, why would you include personal text messages between the future queen and a reality star in your book? I can't fathom why you would do that. And then the Omid Scobie thing. I mean, there's just a million examples I could give to where it felt like such a personal attack. When the royals, as soon as Harry and Meghan left, it felt like they waved the white flag and were like, go try it, do whatever you want to do, go be reality stars, write your books, do whatever it is you want to do. And you're right, there is so much dignity in the way that they have just stayed above the fray and not, I mean, there's a million things they could say. The fact that I know I get in trouble for bringing this up, but Meghan Markle is seen in episode 1 of the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot with her face in someone's lap. What are the odds that we never would have imagined that girl could marry a prince? Do you know what I mean? That footage exists. It's on Amazon Prime.
Well, yeah, and I think what Harry and Meghan have done really is reduce or try to reduce the royal family to this sort of Jerry Springer type sort of scandal hit, and they quite clearly accused Kate of being the one that made Meghan cry in the run up to the wedding in 2018, and it just didn't work. It's just, you only have to look at the opinion polls, and Harry and Meghan have got it spectacularly wrong.
On the other hand, after stepping down from royal duties, Harry and Meghan hope to carve out a powerful brand in the US, but things aren't going as planned. Their Netflix deal has been heavily criticized, with many questioning whether they have anything new to offer. The Spotify fallout was a major embarrassment, as industry insiders called them grifters and cut ties.
And they've been like elevators in popularity, moving, and Harry and Meghan have got it completely wrong, and William and Kate have played a total blinder, frankly.
Yeah, it's been so fascinating to see it. One day in marketing and PR classes in colleges, they're going to study this scenario, because there were people like me that sometimes would say, you can't be never complain, never explain anymore. Still, strategically, that has done them more good than it has harm in the last few years since Harry and Meghan stepped aside. And I saw an interesting article, and I wish I could remember, perhaps it was the Daily Mail, or it was Newsweek or the Daily Beast, where somebody was talking about how strict Meghan's new show is, just how overly produced it is, how canned it is, how inauthentic is the word we continuously use. But how they're basically, and only talking to People magazine repeatedly. I don't know if you saw the article today, but Meghan was talking to People magazine about how normal she was, to react to the backlash to the show, that she's just can't relate. She's unrelatable. And she wanted us to know that she actually talked to a stranger in yoga class. And that's supposed to like justify that Meghan's is not an alien. But they were talking about
if you have to tell someone that you're normal, you're probably not.
Yeah, exactly. But in this article, they were talking about everything is so structured and
Mm.
highly produced and dictated so strictly by Harry and Meghan that it's no different than what the palace does with the royal family. They're just doing it worse. They're just not doing it very well.
Well, I've said this before, and forgive me for being boring and repeating myself, but the difference between William and Kate and Harry and Meghan is that the way that they're conducting themselves is when you are a royal, you make it about the people you meet. You make it about the organizations that you're representing, shedding light on it. You don't make it about you. And how badly wrong does Meghan get it when it's all about Meghan? It's all about, and it's just it's common sense, and yet they don't seem to have any.
Yeah. Yes. I thought about that on International Women's Day when people were worried because the royal family didn't include a picture of Catherine in a carousel. I said, I don't think Catherine would want to be included because Catherine on the same day was spotlighting a victim of cancer that lost her life. I think that Catherine would want to be like, focus on this.
Absolutely right. It's what they do. It's what the Queen did so well, and the Queen died the most popular monarch this country's ever seen. She just made it about other people, not about herself.
Public sympathy for the couple is fading, as many feel their constant grievances have turned people away. Once inseparable William and Harry's relationship is now beyond repair. William has stepped up as a future king, while Harry's tell-all interviews and controversial memoir have only deepened the divide.
Okay, I don't know anything about rugby. So talk to me about this rivalry between Prince William and the Princess of Wales and how she
Well,
came out on top over the weekend. I think that in general, these two are very competitive with each other, which is very cute to witness. Was this an intense weekend for them?
well, I can reveal to you that actually, like many things, don't want to sound like a broken record here, but it's actually Prince Harry's fault because Prince Harry was all things England and he was patron of the England Rugby Football Union. And William, as the Prince of Wales, or the future Prince of Wales as he was then, adopted Wales as his team. And then when Harry stepped out of the picture, poor old Kate had to pick up the mantle of the England supporter.
Oh, no.
So all bad things seem to point to poor old Harry. But yeah, they are patrons of. I mean, Kinsey, it's difficult to describe this perhaps, but the rivalry between Wales and England in rugby is just phenomenal. The Welsh famously don't care who beats them as long as they beat the English. There's even a song. There's a song by a Welsh band saying, as long as we beat the English. And that's talking about rugby. So it really is a rivalry. And I played a lot of my rugby in Wales, and I used to have to put on a Scottish accent because I couldn't bear to let them know that I was English, or they'd pan my head in. Um, it was fun to watch. But yes, this is friendly rivalry between the two of them. I think William secretly is also quite fond of England when they do well.
Yeah.
He certainly was when they won the World Cup in 2003. I don't remember him having any leaks in his pocket and doing Welsh things then. So,
That's
yeah,
funny.
lots of fun and games this weekend.
Sources say William has zero interest in reconciliation unless Harry stops the attacks on the royal family. British and global media overwhelmingly favor William and Catherine, seeing them as stable, responsible leaders. Harry and Meghan's popularity has taken a serious hit, with major outlets calling them out of touch and desperate for relevance.
It's nice to see them so carefree, and it's also nice that there are certain things that they are genuinely passionate about, and to get to see them in their element where we talk about a lack of authenticity with the others, but there is such authenticity that bleeds through this couple when anything sporting related. I mean, it's I guess there are other moments too when Prince William's smile in the Taylor Swift selfie is like the most genuine smile I've ever seen in my entire life. And I don't know if it's as much about Taylor Swift as it's about knowing you're making your children's dreams come true in that exact
Yeah.
moment. But it's so much fun to see people that are typically so poised and so delicate and well put together and um, just sweet. They're just typically very sweet and polite, kind of cut loose every once in a while.
Yeah, those are precious moments, and of course the public lap it up. It's yeah. I almost feel like a broken record saying, the public love William and Kate, public love William
No,
and
let's
Kate.
just say it all the
But they
time. It's
do,
true.
they do. They do, and I think many a rugby Welsh fan, would have probably thought it was quite amusing that William and Kate were in their own little personal family rivalry, and unfortunately, I mean, I'm English. Unfortunately, England absolutely hammered Wales and got the biggest win over them in their history. So, bragging rights went to Kate for sure this time.
It's interesting because there were a couple of stories circulating over the weekend about the children's love for rugby as
Mm.
well. The princess apparently revealed recently that all of her children had fallen in love with the sport. They're all enjoying it. She explained
Yeah.
Louis enjoys it too. Apparently, George and Louis play sports, so their weekends are typically around bouncing to different games, which,
Yeah.
stars just like us, except they're royalty.
Even Hollywood elites seem to be distancing themselves. So what's next for the Sussexes? If you think William and Catherine are the true power couple of the royal family, hit that like button. And if you love keeping up with royal drama, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.
Let's head over to my side of the pond to discuss the launch of Meghan Markle's new podcast. From a strategy perspective, it feels slightly intentional that Meghan is getting absolutely destroyed when it comes to not only ratings, analytics, statistics that are saying this is a dud, but from people that have defended her in the past, put her on the cover of their magazines.
Mm.
They're taking the piss, is that what you guys say, out of the new show? Is that what you
That's
say?
a rude word in this country, but that's okay. That's okay.
Taking them out of Meghan's new show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that the fact that Meghan went, now we heard through sources that spoke to the Daily Mail and the Express that Meghan's announcement of season 2 was incredibly intentional to distract from the fact that the show was failing. But then the announcement of Meghan's new podcast almost immediately after was almost, it felt to me like another, like, please stop talking about how bad my show is doing.
Yeah, I think that they announce that there would be a series 2 the day before the ratings came out for Netflix, which, these things don't go unnoticed. And I mean, look, I want to like Meghan. I want to think she's the best thing that Harry could have ever had in his life. But when you watch those trite, I was very rude about them last time when I was on your podcast.
So I loved every second of it. I loved every second of
it. But I mean, it's past me the bucket stuff, and people see through that. The public aren't stupid. Viewers aren't stupid. If something's so carefully orchestrated to try and create something out of which is so far away from reality.
The future of the monarchy looks bright, with William and Catherine leading the way while Harry and Meghan continue to struggle. Will the Sussexes ever make a comeback, or is their star fading for good? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.